Hey guys, welcome to this video. Today we're talking about Enneagram Type 3, and we're asking the question, can 3's make good leaders? And we should probably ask the question, can 3's work and not be leaders? Because 3's are always going to be moving to the top, always going to be moving toward positions of leadership and productivity. It's just in the nature of a 3 to be moving forward, be moving ahead. And 3's, yes, the simple answer is yes. 3's can make very productive leaders. In fact, I've got a whole bookshelf filled with books on leadership and success and work, and most of them are 3 values, probably written by 3's about how to be a good 3. Most of the self-help and leadership books that you're going to read are basically written about how to be a Type 3. So yes, absolutely, 3's can be great leaders, and they're going to move forward in organizations and be promoted, or they're probably just not going to stay in those places for very long. If 3's don't see a path to success and a path forward and a path to better themselves and a path to positions of leadership or positions of responsibility where they can be more effective and get more accomplishments, they're going to get very frustrated. Their whole personality is built on moving forward and all the admiration that brings with it, all of the respect and all of the appreciation that brings with success. So let's get into this information. I've got a list of kind of a top 10 list, of what 3's are like as leaders and what they bring to the table and how they work within organizations. So Type 3's, are the archetype or the prototype, you might say, of the person who's going to do their best, who's going to give everything to the task. They're very task-oriented people. In fact, sometimes maybe their relationships will suffer because of their focus on work and being successful at work. And they're going to, here's key, they're going to look good doing it. So yes, 1's are very task-oriented as well. And 1's want to be competent, 1's want to be deliberate in their work, and they want to be successful in terms of getting their list accomplished to quiet that inner critic of all that needs to be done. They don't want to leave stones unturned, but 3's are going to be successful. 3's might be willing to take some more shortcuts than 1's would, and 3's are going to be more into how they come across and that they come across successful, where 1's want to just make sure the job gets done and maybe don't necessarily need the credit for it as much. 3's are going to be much more focused on how they look in getting the job done. They want to be seen as someone admirable. They want the appreciation of others. And so they're, in a sense, always setting themselves up as somebody who is an ideal standard of what a person ought to be or how the job ought to be done. And, the difference is 3's are in the worth group and 1's are in the anger group. So 1's are suppressing that anger by getting things accomplished and being good so that they don't receive criticism from themselves and from external sources. 3's are in a worth group, and so they're dealing with issues of, am I a valuable person? Am I an important person? What's my reason for existence? Am I worthwhile? Am I accomplishing anything with my life? Do I matter? And so they are focused on projects and focused on tasks and focused on being the best and focused on being the ideal, because they're dealing with those questions of, where do I get my value from? And where does my worth come from? And they want to come across as attractive and admirable people. Where 2's, right next to them, focus on reading a crowd and reading the audience in order to appear likable. 3's and pleasing. 3's are reading the crowd and reading the audience. What do I need to do in order to be admired? What do I need to do in order to be appreciated in terms of looking successful and having people's admiration? And in that way, 3's sometimes confuse admiration with love. What we're all really looking for is love. And sometimes 3's can interpret people's admiration for them as love. The problem is, as you guys know, is sometimes when you get to the top, everybody doesn't love you. In fact, they might be very envious of you. And yeah, they might look at you as a winner, but that just makes them often feel resentful toward you. And so, to what expense? To your personal life, to what expense to your emotional life. And 3s often turn down the volume on all their emotions. 7s do the same thing. 7s turn down the emotion on all the negative emotions and negative feelings. 3s will do that, not just with the negative emotions, but really anything that's going to hinder them from reaching their goals and being successful. So the goal is, I got to be successful, I got to accomplish, I've got to win. And here's key, people need to see that I've done that. People need to know that I'm a winner. They need to see me in my accomplishments. And so it's got to be broadcast on Facebook, got to be broadcast on Instagram, it's got to be broadcast in some way. Where 8s are going to win, maybe they're going to give everything and they're going to win, but the 8s feel no responsibility to broadcast it. They don't necessarily need anybody to know about it, and they're not doing it for show. They're not doing it for anybody's admiration. In fact, they might get frustrated if you come at them with a lot of admiration. Where 3s, not only do they need to win, but winning and being successful and all the markers of success, the diplomas, the position, the job titles, the house, the car, all of those things are not an end in themselves. They are sought in order to receive the admiration of others. Now that can be a striking blow if you're a 3 and you've never thought about that. You've never understood that about yourself, because we're getting beneath the surface. Beneath all that drivenness is really shame. Shame is what's driving the 3, the 2, 3, and the 4. It's shame. You're avoiding shame, and the shame of what's my purpose and why am I here, and if I don't accomplish something and I don't have the admiration of others, then I would have to sit in shame for being a worthless person. But of course you're not a worthless person. You have intrinsic value simply because you're created in the image of God. You have intrinsic value no matter what you accomplish. What if you're a person with such disability in life, physical disability or mental disability, that you can't accomplish all of these goals that America has set as their standard? Are you not a person of value? Do you not matter? Are you not a worthwhile person? No, of course you do. Everybody matters. Everybody is an important person. Everybody is worthwhile, simply because of intrinsic value. But 3s sometimes, like 2s and 4s, forget this, and they start working to prove their worth and value. So again, wanting to be admirable, wanting to be the ideal, and look modest and humble while doing it. Where 1s want to look modest and humble because it's good, it's the right thing to do. 3s not only want to achieve all of this, but then kind of have that aw shucks, sort of persona about them. Aw shucks, they win the trophy, they win the award, they win the accomplishment, they win the job position, everybody admires them, and then they have the humble, modest, aw shucks, kind of person, kind of response to all that, because again, that is what is most admirable, and for the sake of appearance. Okay. Let's see, what else do we want to hit here before we get started into this list? Appreciated for what they do and not for who they are. Sometimes they get that confused. And in America, 3s just fit in, man. America is a 3-driven society where we focus on goals, reaching goals, striving to be the best. If you don't like your life, change it. Get in shape, exercise. And so these are the people, that 3s and 6s probably are the people that are lifting weights all the time and very concerned about plastic surgery and very concerned about their appearance. And what's funny is, like, where 5s, or other types, probably a lot of other types, might be focused on health. Health is not the same thing as physical fitness. Person who's concerned about health might be thinking about, am I getting the right amount of proteins, the right amount of carbohydrates, the right amount of plant-based nutrition? Is my nutrition level high enough? Am I avoiding toxicity? And so people who are concerned about health, have a different direction and different focus of their attention than people who are focused on physical fitness. Physical fitness may be all about reaching goals and accomplishing goals and pushing the body to overcome and to be seen as an overcomer and to believe you're an overcomer. And also the externals of, I don't care what this high protein diet is doing to my organs, it's making my physical appearance look more admirable. And so that's where 3s can get in trouble sometimes, is they can actually be focused on quote unquote health, but they're really just focused on physical appearance and winning people's admiration, and they may be doing detrimental things to their body, pushing their body beyond its natural abilities and boundaries, and pushing the organs, with way too high protein diets and those kinds of things. Maybe even taking, whatever it is, the injections, you know what I'm talking about. Steroids, maybe taking steroids, which may be doing terrible damage to their body, but hey, it gets the physical appearance results that we're looking for and wins people's admiration. Or the surgeries, all the plastic surgeries, all the implants and all those kinds of things that who knows what that's doing to the body. But see, that's not the goal for somebody driven by those kind of motivations. It's the appearance. It's to catch people's attentions. It's to be admired. It's to have people ooh and ah over you. And it can be physical appearance. It can be, the way you do your work and your job. And so you got somebody who maybe works for a company that makes a product that they don't even use. Maybe they work for a company like Pepsi Cola or, and they don't drink the stuff. But it becomes the opportunity for them to move ahead and progress and advance and make a ton of money and have a beautiful house and look very successful. And then you say, well, do you believe in your product that you're selling? No, they don't have to believe in the product. They don't have to believe in the product. They don't have to use the product. They don't have to like the product, because it's not about the product. It's about what the product can bring you. It's about the position. It's about the appearance. It's about the title. And so 3s are always in perpetual salesman mode. They're always in the job interview. They're always promoting themselves and promoting their accomplishments and promoting in one way or another. Some may be very verbal about it. Some may be more appearance oriented. Some may be very, slick in how they promote themselves, but they're always in that promote. Now, why? Because there's shame. Shame is pushing them. Shame is behind them, and they got to confront that shame. You got to look at it and say, hey, I have no reason to be ashamed except for sin, and the Lord's already dealt with that. I have no reason to be ashamed. I'm created in important intrinsic value. I have the thumbprint DNA of God, on me, and so I don't need to run away from that shame and need to try to outrun that shame. There you go. Need to try to outrun that shame. If I could face it and just realize, hey, who I am is who I'm created to be. And yeah, like everybody, I've got some things that need to improve in my life and some things that need to change in my life. But, trying to win everybody's admiration and trying to win everybody's, appreciation and affection by being the best and the ideal, it's going to what? Run you ragged. And 3s are often run ragged. Man, they're drinking coffee and they're drinking sports drinks and they're, taking steroids. All the stuff they got to do, to reach all these goals and win all these accomplishments so that they'll have something to post. They'll have something to share. And then everybody can respect them. But here's the thing is, for one, most people don't care. Okay, most people are so wrapped up in themselves and so wrapped up in what they're doing and so wrapped up in their failures and their accomplishments, they don't give a rat's rear end about what you've accomplished. And if they do, too, they're probably not admiring you. They're probably jealous and envious of you. And so, hey, wake up call. You're promoting yourself. Look at what I did. Look at what I accomplished, thinking you're going to win everybody's affection and admiration. And there may be some, that give you admiration, but probably most people are going to look at you as a potential threat. Look, I got to get ahead. I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to be seen as a slacker. And you're making us all look bad. And you can have people turn against you because of all these accomplishments and wonder, why is everybody against me? I'm just trying to do my best. I'm just trying to work hard. I'm just trying to accomplish all that I can accomplish. And everybody should be praising you and should be applauding you. And what you find is sometimes, you get the exact opposite response from people. Is you get their frustration, you get their envious glares, rather than their admiration and praise. Let's see. 3s focus on reading people. 3s are charming. Okay, the 3 wing 2 is called the charmer. All right, that's the name for it. The 3 wing 4 is the professional. So these are professional people that know how to charm you. They know how to bring you in. They know how to sell ice to people that live in the North Pole. These are people that know how to become the best version of what you're looking for. Okay, so 3s can move and morph and almost change in front of your eyes into being what they think you want them to be. They're salesmen, okay, by nature. They know how to read people and evaluate the expectations of people, what those people admire, and then they get out in front and become the best version of what people admire. Okay? All right, so success, looking good, standing out, being admired. Hey, look at me. This is the child on the diving board. Mommy, daddy, look at me. And, the 4 right next to him is the one that just doesn't ever feel like they can measure up to that. So the 3 is the, hey, look at me, look at what I did, look at the report I brought home, look at the grades I brought home, mommy, and the 4 right next to him is the one that, well, I'll never measure up to Big Brother. I'll never be able to do what Big Brother can do. I'm afraid to jump off the diving board. I can't excel at the same things Big Brother excels at, so what's there for me? All right, so the 4 videos coming next. All right. So let's see. 3s view the world in terms of tasks, in terms of, jobs that need to be done, in terms of the appearance of things and how things look. And the external markers of success are very important. They are sometimes called human doings instead of human beings because they're amped up to get things done, amped up to make accomplishments. They believe the world loves a winner. And like I've already said, think about the Olympics, right? There's one gold winner, and then there's a silver and a bronze, and there's a whole bunch of people that didn't make anything, right? So the 3 has it in their mind that if they get that gold medal, the world's going to applaud and love them. Okay, there's some truth to that, right? There is some truth to that. But how does the person with the silver medal feel about the person that won the gold? How does the person with the bronze medal feel about the person that won the gold? How does everybody else that competed that didn't win anything, how do they feel about those that won medals? You see, there's this kill or be killed, eat or be eaten, kind of mentality in this. So where do emotions come? Well, 3s don't have time for emotions. They don't have time to take all that stuff into consideration, how somebody might have felt or how I even feel. They don't want to deal with sadness. They don't want to deal with the darker things because those are speed bumps. Emotions are speed bumps. Hey, people are speed bumps. And 3s can get very frustrated with people that are thwarting their goals, that are getting in the way and impeding their progress. So 3s want to move around people. They want to move around their feelings, and they don't want their feelings to get in the way of their success. So that they hope that they will then be able to feel fulfilled because they've reached their success. The problem is as you guys know, the problem is of course, once you check off all the goals and you win the prize, well, your eyes just then raise up to the next goal and the next prize. And so it's a never-ending cycle of reaching for the next goal and reaching for the next promotion, reaching for the next job interview. It's a never-ending cycle of reaching for more until maybe you get to the end of your life and you look back and do you care about any of this? And see, there's where the 4 departs from the 3 and says, I don't want to be some high-level executive at Pepsi drinking some soda that I don't even care about. The 4 is going to say, what matters? What's meaningful? Where do I find purpose and meaning? And they want to go after something, even if it doesn't pay anything, that gives them meaning and purpose. And the 3 can get to the end of their life, made a huge success by the world standards, or by contemporary standards, but then look back and say, what does it all mean? What was it all worth? It cost me my family. It cost me my health. It cost me my sanity. And yeah, I accomplished all these things. But now they just sit in a room, an I love me room with my trophies and my plaques and my awards. But what does it all mean? What was it all for? And I think 3s can kind of get to the end of their life, maybe if they're not careful, and sort of regret they gave so much attention to all of these accomplishments and missed their grandkids. They gave all their attention to this and missed just enjoying life. They didn't balance very well. So there's the danger. There's the inherent danger in 3s is all of these tasks and all of this accomplishment and all of this running. Who's it for? Who cares? Who's it really for? Is it so that you feel like you have value and worth? You already have value and worth, whether you accomplish any of this nonsense or not. Go back to when you were a toddler. Go back to when you were in kindergarten, okay? You're sitting there in kindergarten. You can't do much of anything. Everybody in that class, in that kindergarten class, none of you are doctors, none of you are executives, none of you are lawyers, none of you have any job titles. You're just, all you are is your names, okay? That's it. You can't do much because you're 5 years old. You color a picture and you bring it home to mommy and daddy and you show it to them and they say, oh, look at this. Oh, look at what you made. Oh, look, let's put this on the refrigerator. Look, your worth and your value is no different when you're 5 years old than when you're 50 years old. Your worth and value doesn't come from the fact that you colored a picture better than the other kid. So the 3, is coloring 3 pictures. Everybody colors 1. The 3 colors 3 pictures, brings them home. And am I more valuable because I colored 3 pictures? No. But here's what you didn't do. You didn't enjoy coloring the picture. You were so focused on doing it better than the other kids that mommy and daddy were going to be so proud of you because you got 3 pictures colored instead of 1 that you failed to enjoy coloring the picture. You rushed through and got it done and did, twice as much as everybody else. And that's kind of how they end up living their lives, is rushing through, getting things done, making sure that they're ahead of everybody else. But what are you enjoying? Are you enjoying life? Life isn't just meant to get rushed through and to get an award at the end. Life is meant to be lived. It's meant to be lived, and it's meant to be present. But see, you can't be present if you're always focused on checking off this task to get to the next one. And then, can I publish this? Then can I promote this and promote myself, and what I've accomplished through all this, so that then I can run away from the shame. That's what it is. Okay, you're running away from shame. Just acknowledge it. We all have shame. We don't live in the Garden of Eden anymore. First thing Adam and Eve did was try to cover their shame. And 3s are covering their shame with all their awards, plaques, and accomplishments, all their success and their beautiful house and their beautiful physique, their beautiful body and all that. They're trying to become an admirable, best, ideal person. And that's all well and good, but there's another way to cover shame. I'm a minister, ask me about it. Okay, there's another way to cover shame. God already did it. Okay, it's on the cross. All right, let's keep going. All right, so what are the core characteristics of 3s as leaders? All right, number 1, the ability to read an audience. The ability to read an audience. Often without knowing they're doing it, 3s are reading the audience, and they are reading the people around them, what people want, what people expect, what people admire, and then they adjust their presentation, or they adjust their tactics, or they adjust their strategy in order to receive the maximum impact in terms of impressing people with their competence, with their attractiveness, with their achievement. Okay, so the focus is on what do people want, the radar's up, scanning what do people want, what do they admire, so that I can adjust myself like a chameleon, like a salesman. I can adjust my presentation, adjust myself to maximize the impact of my accomplishments, to increase sales, to increase productivity, So it works. It works. Okay. Next, number 2, goal-oriented. Goal-oriented and focused on being productive. All right, so they want to know what the goal is so that they know the quickest route to achieve it, which can involve, what's the sin of 3s? Deceit, which sometimes, you think of the used car salesman deceiving people in order to what? Make sales. Because all is fair in love and war, and all is fair in business, right? And so 3s kind of have that temptation. Let's just say that. The 3s have that temptation of, not only adjusting themselves to fit people's admiration, but maybe adjusting the truth. Okay, there's where they depart from 1s, and maybe where they might depart from 8s sometimes, but certainly from 1s. That's why 1s could get fed up with 3s, because 1s want the job done right. Who cares about who gets the glory? 3s want the job done first. They want the job done better than everybody else, and they might cut corners or be willing to cut corners in order to get it done. And then they want the notoriety from getting it done. And so 1s could sometimes maybe get a little fed up, with 3s. I could see that happen. 8s could probably get a little fed up with 3s. And see them as kind of slick, and sneaky. They might think of them as kind of being sneaky. All right, so focus number 3, focus on doing. The focus is on doing, on getting things done. Why? Because everybody in that triangle, the 9s, 6s, and 3s, they have one part of the personality separated from the other two. So what that means for 3s is their feeling is separated from their thinking and doing. So they're thinking and doing all the time. They're thinking about what they need to do and how to do it better and how to get it more done, and how to get it accomplished. What they're out of touch with is their feeling. Although they're in the feeling group, they're out of touch with their feelings. If you can get a 3 to sit down for a second and think about their own feelings, what do they want in life? Not what will make them successful, not what will win admiration, not thinking about doing, but what do you really love? What's important to you? What is precious to you? What do you cherish? Sometimes 3s can get knocked out of that impulsive drivenness toward tasks to kind of evaluate their life for a minute and go, wow, maybe I need to slow down a little bit. Maybe I need to include some of these people around me, and maybe I need to, care about what really matters in life. But then they'll quickly click out of that feeling and back into thinking and doing and thinking and doing and thinking and doing. All right, so they're focused on achievement and focused on doing and understanding what people evaluate in terms of their achievement and their accomplishments, and they're willing to do whatever hard work is necessary to get those goals done. So it's not that they're not hard workers. 3s are hard workers. They'll get a lot of work done, in accomplishing all those goals. Image management. Number 4, image management. Continually adjusting their presentation to be what others value, to come across as successful, professional. Again, the 3-4 is the professional. Wearing the exact right shoes, the right name brands, the right colors with the right, focused on how they're presenting themselves and how they're coming across. And again, they're charming. You can't help but like them, because they work really hard at being likable people, at being charming people. So image management. But to what expense? Okay, there's the cost always. To what expense? To their own identities, okay, to themselves. Polishing the exterior all the time, polishing the exterior. But what's going on in your interior life? Isn't that of some importance as well? Doesn't your interior life matter? Isn't what you are eventually going to come out in the externals? Okay, but you can avoid all of the internals and just focus on polishing the exterior. And so it's kind of like the beautiful car with no engine. I don't mean that 3s aren't productive in getting things done. I just mean they don't give attention. They don't take the car to the service station. They only take it to the car wash. There you go. There's your metaphor for a 3. Okay? They take their car to the car wash every day, and their car is spotless. It is vacuumed. It is shining. It is clean, right? It is the best version of that sports car. Okay? It is beautiful. It's got air fresheners in it. I mean, the dash is squeaky clean. The tires are sparkling, right? Because it goes to the car wash every day. It gets detailed every day, the exterior. But they never take it to the service station to get an oil change. That's the danger of a 3 right there. They never take it to the service station to get an oil change because nobody sees that. Okay? So the outside of their house is beautiful. Their bedroom is a mess. There's clothes everywhere. Laundry isn't done. Dishes aren't washed. But nobody sees that. So it's not important. It's not important if nobody sees it. See? There's the metaphor for you. The beautiful sports car that doesn't run because it's not been serviced in 3 years. Because nobody sees, whether it gets serviced or not. So the internal life of the 3 can suffer because all of the attention is on the external. And again, for what reason? So people will applaud? Yeah, they might be applauding, but they might also be very suspicious or envious or frustrated that they didn't win. Okay? So next, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Competitiveness and a drive to win. 3s want to be seen as the best, so they tend to measure themselves against others. Okay, well now you can see where people are going to start to get frustrated. You're measuring yourself against others so that you can show that you're a performer. The desire to win and to come out on top is what motivates 3s, in all the hard work that they do. They want to see themselves as overcomers. They want to see themselves as champions. And literally their Facebook pictures, will have them raising their arms and making muscles with the sunlight behind them on mountaintops in front of oceans. It's like, look at me, I am a success. And, and if they're a 3-wing too, they'll probably then say, look at what I did, look at what I accomplished. I just finished this, big event, and you could too. They want to help you be the best you. And so, in a bid also to protect their image, they don't want to just say, I won this trophy and I won this accomplishment because I'm great. They don't want to say it that. So they're humble, right? So they'll do that humble thing at the end and say, I was able to do this because of all the support of my husband, my wife, my friends, and they all supported me in accomplishing this. And here's my before picture and here's my after picture. And you could too. See, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you. And so there's that humility, that kind of false humility. It comes across, okay, don't hate me, 3s. It could come across as a false humility. Like, you could change too. You could be a better you if you're willing to get up off the couch and do what it takes to be a success, like I did. So I'm the model. I'm the ideal. I'm what you ought to become like. See how far away I am from shame? See how far away I am? Look at all the worth I have, right? But see, that's what's driving all this, is their question about, am I a worthwhile person? And since they don't know how to answer that in anything that's concrete, they go out trying to answer it with all of the accomplishments and all the awards and all the achievement. And I feel sorry for you guys, because it's great that you're getting all this stuff done, but to what expense? Do you care about any of these trophies? Do you care about any of these awards? Do you really care about it? What if they were all taken away from you? What if you couldn't win a trophy and you couldn't post it on Facebook? Would you still run the marathon? If no, then is it really important to you? Okay? What if you got paid the same, no matter what your title was at work? Okay, what if you just had to do the job? Would you still do it with the same energy and the same drive and the same dedication because you believe in the mission of your company? Okay, see? Is that what's motivating you? You believe so passionately in the mission of your company that you would give your time to it and dedication to it, even if you never get promoted? Would you still, work out as intensely as you work out, if you didn't get any physical results from it? Do you just enjoy the experience? My guess is you don't enjoy the experience. The experience is what you miss. You fly through the experience to get to the award, to get to the promotion. Okay, and that's inherently got some dangers in that. And if you can get in touch with your feelings for just a minute and say, do I care about any of these awards? Do I care about any of these diplomas? Do I care about any of this? Does any of this what matters to me? You might be surprised when you get in touch with yourself. Okay, you might get surprised what little voice you hear. All right. Avoidance of feelings. Well, that's what I'm talking about. That's the next thing on the list. That's what I'm talking about. Avoidance of feelings. 3s tend to be out of touch with their own emotions much of the time. Why? Because if they listen to their heart, if they listen to their emotions, maybe they wouldn't be signing up for all these events and signing up for all these opportunities to prove their strength. Maybe they'd just be living life. Maybe those emotions would get in the way of all of this productivity. So they just tune it out. They just don't listen to their own reasonable voices. Listen, you don't have to listen to me. Okay, if you're a 3 right now and any of this is making sense to you, turn me off. Okay? Turn me off and listen to yourself. Just get in touch with your own heart. If you don't know what else to do, pray. Get in touch with your own heart and say, what do I care about? Who am I really and what do I care about? What matters to me? What's important to me? That's a voice you maybe haven't listened to in a long time. And that's the voice that your brother right there, number 4, that's the only voice they listen to. Again, if you could get in touch with your wings, on the one side the 4 and then the other side the 2, you'll move to health. And what's health look like for a 3? They move to 6. They start caring about the group. I don't have to promote myself. I don't have to stand out and be amazing. I need to help this whole group move forward. That's when 3s move to health, is they stop thinking about whether or not they're standing out And they start caring about the group that they're associated with, their job, their church, their community, their family, and they're saying, how do I use my skills and my abilities for leadership and motivation and work and tasks and all these things that you're good at? How do I use these to advance the whole team so that everybody can be successful? And I don't have to stand out as the superior person. How can I motivate and encourage everybody to win? How can I make it so everybody is influenced for success? That's when 3s are healthy. When 3s aren't healthy, they go to 9. They give up. When 3s realize that they can't win this competition, when maybe they get old and their body starts to sag, when everybody else seems to be getting ahead and they're falling behind, they give up. They go dark. They just go, what's the point? What's the point of life? What does it even matter? What does it even care? And they might end up in their bed for weeks at a time, depressed, hurt, sad, alone. Pull the shades down. The world is dark. And 3s can just sit on the couch, and just get in their pajamas and never get out of their pajamas. Here's a person who has the whitest teeth, has the brightest smile, wears the slickest shoes, and they're just dead inside like a zombie when they go dark. They go to that 9 like, don't move me. I'm not moving and nobody can move me. Well, like a 9. I'm not moving and nobody can move me. And the sin of the 9 is sloth. And you'll see this aggressive, running person just turn into this pile of defeated sloth. That's what they'll turn into when they're unhealthy. Lean on the 4 and say, what is my heart telling me? What am I passionate about? What sets me apart, not as accomplishments, but what just sets me apart as an individual? And then lean on the 2 on the other side and say, how can I be of help to people? How can I make a difference in someone else's life without getting the glory or the prestige, without caring about any of that? Just being there to help people, just being there to be a support and to give to people. Lean on those 2 wings, right? And you find your place of health. All right, well, I think I got through most of the information I wanted to get through today. Of course, 3s can be leaders, great leaders. You want more information? Great book, 9 Types of Leadership by Beatrice Chestnut. I'll see you guys next time. Take care, be present to life. 3s, be present to life. You're so focused on getting junk done that you're not present to what you're doing. You're just running, you're flying. Yeah, you're outpacing everybody, but you don't enjoy the race. Enjoy the race, man. It's not a race anyway. Okay? Enjoy the run. Enjoy the exercise. And get to know the people around you. And be yourself. Okay? Be yourself. But my guess is it's going to take some work for you to know who yourself is. All right. I'll see you guys next time.